going on, people? Welcome back to the garage, and it is a Saturday. I believe it's Saturday. This is kind of an impromptu. We are in the garage, and there's a bunch of bad light over there. Let me kind of shift things around here, and I'll tell you what. Let me see how I get the chat window going on here. And we will see who will show up. My hair looks crazy. Especially this side. What up, ICT Car Guy? 316. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you again. Hey, do me a favor. Actually, let me do this. Let's scoot this thing back just a couple inches. What up, DZ? What up, Jeffy Jeff? Jay? How's the smoke monster? We're about to fire this thing up. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over there to the official Goat Rope Garage beer fridge, which is the first thing that I bought after getting on YouTube. Literally, the first thing I bought. If you were here back 2 years ago, whenever we started this thing up, around this time, mind you, we started up the Goat Rope Garage, and I had a couple guys throw some live chat money my way so I could buy a beer fridge for the office. But instead of putting it in the office, I put it in the garage because that's how we do. Where'd the chat go? I'm doing, here we go. There we go. I got the chat up. I'll be right back. Jay knows. Miller time. Oh, God. That wouldn't be the first time I knocked the phone over today. It's such a mess over here. There we go. Okay. So the crazy thing about all of this is there. Ha. Hey, Smokey J. Jacob, it is a 72. What is the thing? Hey, Johnny HCF. We got another Australian watching. The fridge is okay here. Fridge is way, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's way over there. You see the QA1 stuff. That's it. Right in that area right there. That's the old beer fridge. That is, being the community that we are, that is what you guys made possible. No, I mean, it's not that late. I'm staying up late tonight. Hey, Red X-Ray. What up, Eddie? But I thought I would come downstairs, open up a cold one. We're drinking some Logical Conclusions by Threes Brewing. Really good stuff. Very generous. You would be surprised how hard it was to finance a $150 beer fridge whenever this channel started off. I was having to balance a lot of checkbooks. But I mean, we've got this beauty behind us. I'm going to show you how fast this thing fires up, which is really cool. You know, I put the Terminator X on the North Star back in the past. Very interested to find on the North Star, man, that thing cranked over. I've not fired this thing up in a couple days here. I'm going to open a garage door so I don't die of asphyxiation because this thing's running rich. Hopefully the cops do not get angry about me firing up a vehicle this loud at this time, whatever this time is. But let's put some heat into the old baby. Well, I mean, we're working on it. Oh, let's see if this even works. No promises. I make no promises. She might be a she might be a little bit rich still. Man, I'm telling you, if you were here, literally you can feel that thing in your guts whenever it idles. It is just this is what's going on. It's going on right here. Oh. Okay, I gotta shut this door because it is like 15 degrees outside. Woo! It's so cold. It's so cold. Oh, and I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Jacob, that is a 598 big block. Big block. Big block. Big block. Yeah, here. I'll get out of the way so you can take a look at it. We're running Brodix heads, VB2 extra heads on it with a Crowler cam, Edelbrock, intake manifold, the ProFlow, Terminator X. We're getting ready to convert this thing over. We're going to go over to ethanol. We're going to do E85 on this setup with a flex fuel sensor so we can actually blend it out. And so I'm getting ready to put Snake Eater 1500s in on it. Whew, it is very cold, very cold, very cold. Whew, whew. Still got a lot of tuning to do. Trans, Power Glide, we got a 1200 horsepower Power Glide behind it with a, can't remember what torque converter, Circle H torque converter maybe. So, whew. Yep, Power Glide on this one. We're running the Turbo 400. I think we're going to end up running a Gear Vendors overdrive on this setup just because the whole purpose of building this car out is for Rocky Mountain Race Week. We're going to run this in the Big Block NA class. I don't know if you've gone back and looked at the 2020 results, but the guy that won the Big Block NA class had like an average around 10 seconds. This car is not going to be a 10-second car. This is going to be about a 9.5-second car average, especially because it is on a Terminator X EFI, and we're going to be running E85 on it. So on E85, we'll probably be making around 900 at the crank, so 800 at the wheels with it. Switch my camera. I'm not switching my camera. You want me to rotate this thing? Rokon, would that make you happy? Even at that altitude. I don't know how to do this now. See, I can't do it, Rokon. Sorry. It's unhappy about me starting this up in this thing. Yeah, even at that altitude, we should be in the 9s on this setup. We're in Pennsylvania right now, so. Whew, it is very cold in here. Very cold. I did not wear enough clothing. But, as I said, we've got the ability to really tune this thing out. The way this block is set up, it's around 11-to-1 compression ratio. This is based on the Engine Masters 598 that Freiberger put together, and that one was running closer to 10-to-1, and it made a little over 800, about 830 at the crank. This is a little bit more aggressive on the compression side, a little bit less aggressive on the cam side, but we're also, as I said, we're going EFI versus carburetor on that one. Good. Yeah, Chris is correct. This is very good boost weather. I actually went down to the storage building today and fired up the Superado. All motor. Yeah, we're going all motor. We'll eventually put nitrous on this, and we'll shoot for probably about 1,200 horsepower on nitrous on this. So, but we got a lot of work left to do on the back end of this ordeal. We're going to switch it over to a Ford 9-inch. I've already got a lot of rear suspension parts like Caltrek monoleafs. I've got the subframe connectors. all kinds of stuff to firm up the back end and get this thing ready. The idea about it is to have about 900 horsepower in a platform that is streetable, highwayable, and very just reliable. And that's the nice thing about this setup is just we're looking for something that we can go out, beat the hell out of it, not have any issues whatsoever in the process. Probably help if I turn those lights on. Sorry. I just realized that the other side of the garage lights were off. But yeah. And then over here, there's our chromoly cage that we're getting ready to install. So we'll be good down to 8.5 seconds on that with the chromoly cage. So we're going to have fun with this thing. Love this car. Love it. Yeah, the Super Auto, though, that's where it's at. We're going to be bringing the Super Auto back. We're going, Rokon, we're going to Rocky Mountain Race Week 1 with the Nova, and then we're going to go to Race Week 2. My co-pilot for Race Week 1 is going to be Corey, and he has got I think we're going to take his 72 Chevelle, which is an LS setup that's going to be, I don't think we've determined whether or not he's going to supercharge it or turbocharge it yet, but we're going to take his 72 Chevelle for Race Week 2, and I'm going to co-pilot for him. So we'll take the Nova out on Race Week 1, we'll take the Chevelle out for Race Week 2, and so we're going to be at both of them. That's the goal. Yeah, I hate how the chat just disappears. I don't know if it's because nobody... Oh, there we go. That's okay. Yeah, so as I said, we got to figure out all the rear suspension stuff, get the 9-inch put back there, figure it out. Which filler rod? We're using the ES70 R6 or whatever. I don't TIG. So I've got my buddy Justin that races the motorcycles that you've probably seen on my channel in the past. He is a very good TIG welder. He's going to come over and TIG the cage in. I can MIG, but because of my trimmers, I can't TIG weld. What up, Theo? So, but we will be in the Super Auto back, and yeah, well, I think it's the 70S6 maybe that we're using on the filler rod. But we're going to bring the Super Auto back, and I decided Friday we're going to go ahead and pull the bed off, and we're going to chop the rear section of the frame on the Super Auto, and we're going to convert it over to a big tire. So we're going to go all out on that thing because it's, you know, it's well over 1,000 horsepower right now, and if I'm going to redo the 4-link suspension on it for drag racing, I'm going to build the hell out of the back side of it. You know, we're going crazy on the Super Auto. Yeah, Chris, I feel you, man. I've had essential trimmers since I was about 12 years old, and in the last about 2 or 3 years, it's gotten to the point where I have a really hard time. I can still, as I said, do a decent MIG weld, but I can't solder anymore. I have a hard time doing pin work on connectors sometimes, things like that. And if you've watched any of my wiring videos, you've seen that, and it is what it is. You know, it's just a weird ass medical condition, and unfortunately, the medication that you can take to help that really slows you down and makes it where you just are tired all the time and you know, have no motivation. First time live, man. I almost got my 96 two-door Tahoe dialed in. Awesome. Glad to hear it, Chance. And yeah, Arkansas. I'm from down that country. I'm from Oklahoma. So what changes do you anticipate in the tune at a mile of elevation? Well, the thing about it is it's specifically on this platform, because it is a manifold air pressure instead of, you know, we don't have the option of running something like mass airflow where the changes of density really gets calculated in, even though it does with manifold air pressure, because obviously the air gets lighter as we go up, so we're not going to generate as much manifold air pressure. But mass airflow works a little bit better for that. But we're going to look, what we're going to do and I'm giving away all of my secrets right here. We're going to be racing a bunch of carb guys for the most part. I don't think there's going to be a lot of big blocks, and if they're running EFI, and the majority of the big blocks out there are probably going to be like 454s and stuff like that. So we've already got, you know, over 100 cubic inches on top of them, so we've got all the extra power. But what we're going to look at is trying to, as said, run as much E85 as we can so we can get the extra benefit out of that early burn where we can advance timing and stuff like that. And the thing about it is you know, there's a lot of misnomers out there on E85. The idea behind it is that, you know, everybody says, oh, it takes 30% more fuel whenever you run an E85, which is true. But the thing about it is to do that, whenever you got to look at the BTU that burns off from gas versus E85, you're generating more energy with that 30% more fuel. It burns a little bit slower, so you got to advance the timing out a little bit more there, but you're getting more energy per you know, RPM per revolution by throwing that in there. And so you're talking about maybe 16,000 BTUs versus 18,000 BTUs. That's where you regain the power from. And so we've got the flexibility to be able to run all that extra energy, and then we can play with fueling at the, like, the minute, minuscule. Guys are over here having to adjust jets. We're looking at, you know, injectors where we can say, hey, we're running out here, we're running an 8.5 PE ratio on this. We can dial this down to maybe a 9, pick up a second or two. We can play with the timing, things like that. So I think the benefit is going to be that we are running a EFI coil near plug big block, where everybody else is going to be running a distributor with a carburetor. And carburetor has its benefits because it does cool the intake tract down, where EFI tends to have a little bit hotter air because we're injecting right in the runners, where whenever you have a carburetor and it's bringing the air in and drawing the fuel into the runners there, it's a little bit more dense. But by being able to run EFI or E85, we have that, it literally cools down everything a significant amount. And so we can pick up all the benefits of what the guys are doing on carburetors, and then we're just going to hope to beat them with displacement, because we have, you know, pretty much the second biggest big block Chevy that you can get for the most part. Okay, hold on. Let me get the. Yep. I could see that. Funfoot says worked with a 26-year-old that couldn't take a lumen because he had a pacemaker. High frequency would mess it up. Yeah. Michael wants to get a better look at the car. I'll do a pan for you. So, said 70 Nova. Got it converted over. Got a fiberglass 4-inch cowl on it just to clear it. Nothing crazy going on right now. But check out the channel, because I've got a lot of videos on the Nova, and there's a lot of work left to be done for it. Now, E85 does not have water, but ethanol has a tendency to draw water to it. Any alcohol-based fuel, methanol, ethanol, stuff like that, can absorb water. So you know, you don't want to set a tank of E85 around for a long time, because it can absorb water in. Sean, this has 308s in it right now, and I want to get out with the 598 with the 308s in it and the Power Glide and see how it does, because we're going to swap this over to a Ford 9-inch. And so I want to get it out with the 308s, see how I like it with the 308s, and then I will use that to determine what gears to run with the Ford 9-inch. Michael says, I got a 79 Camaro LS. I swapped. Need to learn more on HB tuners. Well, listen, tuning101.com. That takes you right to our homepage. Plenty of playlists. Just check out that. You like that custom hot air intake? Yeah, yeah. Hey, it's kind of to the side. It's kind of to the side. We do what we do. This is the first time I've ran it with a filter on it. Tried to drink out my beer sideways. Just pulled the open diff 308 out of my Camaro today. LSD 373 installed. Nice, Jay. I actually have a posi in here, but as I said, this is a 10 bolt instead of a 12 bolt, so we got to get rid of it. What kind of a effect does water methanol have on charge temp with the E85? Does tuning need to change between fuels? Okay, Chris, that's a multiple level question. So obviously tuning has to, you can tune for standard gasoline as long as you have a flex fuel setup that is looking at alcohol content for whenever you're doing E85. And so that will correct because it's a pretty standard across the board enrichment on the fuel and timing, advanced and things like that. So that works out fine. Whenever you add methanol injection or water methanol injection on there, you're actually offsetting the fuel. And so your air calculations get skewed out of the way. And I've done a couple of videos on that. So go check out specifically the Superauto playlist and it will show you. That Smithhead, that is a Spectre tube. Good call. Good call. Listen, everybody, my battery is literally about to die. Yeah, exactly. The 10 bolt, the 10 bolt is not long for this world with a 598 big block. We're not going to be getting on it hard, but we're going to check out the 308 gears just so we can see what the RPMs are. So, literally, I said, I'm at like 2% on the phone, so it's about to die. I appreciate you guys spending the time. 23 minutes on a random Saturday night, 34 viewers, 9 thumbs up. I am guessing that everybody in here is already a subscriber. If there's some reason that you're not a subscriber, what are you doing? What are you doing? Subscribe. Hit that button. I mean, we have fun. We show up on a Saturday night. We drink beer. We fire up a massive engine. Listen, how beautiful is this thing? Look at how gorgeous this motor is. Here, we'll do this. Phone might die in the process. Let's do this maneuver. Let's come in. Let's look at this beauty. Let's look at what's going on. We've got ICT billet brackets here. We've got ICT billet down here. We got ICT billet down there. Coil near plug, which makes everything nice and clean. Got these beautiful Edelbrock intake manifold, fuel rails, Willwood brakes, the Terminator X over there. I need to clean that up. Don't look at this. Don't look at this. This is all temporary stuff. This is just all temporary stuff. But listen, you guys know the drill. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Remember, ABT, always be tuning.